This is my drama life. I hope you enjoyed. Well, I was born in 20 of the 22 of November of 2003 in Mexico City. They call me El Cruzadito because of my nose. You might ask what happened. Basically, my nose was tilted, but now it's correct thanks for a little cross that I got. When I was a kid, I gabblish a lot, but I have a lot of good expressions, so my mom can understand me. So she could know when I want milk or something else. But everything changed when I get into kindergarten. When I got into kindergarten, most of the kids started talking as obviously normal children. So I had to learn how to speak, but it was just a matter of time until I was able to speak. So that doesn't become a barrier for me. So instead of saying gaga gaga, I could say blah 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 blah. Um, Everything in my life was good until fourth grade, which I will call fourth grade decadence. I had a bigger head than other kids. Also, some of my friends, let's say, they call me trash or space trash because of a story we read about space trash, and they say, "Oh, look, Alonso, it's you." The worst part of this and the bullying I suffer is that I consider them my friends. So, meh. But the good thing was that I discovered Harry Potter, which was the beginning of my, let's say, reading career, and I read all the books in exactly 9 months. But mostly during those days, I felt like I was falling apart from everybody. I didn't have so much friends, or I didn't care how were they. I just wanted to go. But in middle school, I didn't like the music that other kids enjoyed, and I was also smart, but they bullied me for being smart. I listened to Panic at the Disco, um, Fall Out Boy, Skillet, alternative rock, and it made me happy. Some happy. During my first year, it was also that my grandmother suffered from a stroke, but she recovered and she was a happy woman after that. During my second grade in middle school, my house was not the best. I was suffering from some house problems. I suffered from anxiety. I was criticized by everything I did, and well, I had two panic attacks and three anxiety attacks, along with depression. But in my third year, the Broadway musical saved me from like Hamilton, Be More Chill, or Dear Evan Hansen. And also, I was the Mad Hatter for Alice in Wonderland play with Maeve. And let's say I was the one for the role. But in the summer of 2019, well, I think it was Christmas. My grandma died. She had something in her stomach, and I can remember that I only listened to music when I was told. So I didn't cry because I knew that someday I will see her. I studied at UVM, and my let's say my mental health was right. In my second semester, I went to Canada, which it was awesome because not only I was going for 6 weeks, but also I was going for the first time in my life alone to another country and traveling alone for the first time in my life. It was some good experience. I learned a lot, and also I had my first encounter with weed. But when I came back to Mexico, my luggage was lost. Although it came back. On my fourth semester, I started learning German, and after I graduate, I'm going to study in Germany, which I mistake the flag. To this day, it has to be 2021, mostly September. When I was studying in Germany, I had a lot of money that I sent it to my mom to help her. And also, it was my first time at a gay bar, and I met my love at first sight. In 2025, I went back to Mexico, but later on, I moved out to Canada with the same guy I met. And I also learned Korean. I work as a Spanish and English teacher, so I had a good life. Also, for being a young adult, it's also a good life. So stonks. Finally, in 2027, I married with the guy I met from Germany. I was 30. We live in Alberta and Vancouver Island. We have a big ass apartment, and I wrote some books. I wrote my first science fiction, which they're getting to poems and articles. Then in 2032, I take my mom on a trip from all around the world, like she did when she was my age. We went to Europe, but and Asia, and also we went to Japan so we can taste a real good ramen. And also we taste a lot of sushi. But in 2030, I got a dog and a cat. They were asses, but I love them. The same year, Layla got here. She is my daughter, and my idea for not having kids changed. And also, I learned to cook rice. In 2035, I met with all my friends from high school, but I remember the group of girls that I used to get along with. I really cried, and I do hope they're doing okay. Then in 2036 I tattoo the birth of my mom, the day I married, and some other things. Now in 2039, I'm a very happy man. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.